This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunum, where we speak truth to power. Here we don't criticize. But if we must criticize, we'd only just criticize to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. This is from the newsreel, and we always endeavor to keep it real. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunum, and today we have a number of issues to look at. I need you to come along. Let us look at this very, very carefully and very, very attentively, my brother, my sister. I need us to look at these things. Now, there is this one that I am looking at today, and I'm beginning with this one from Ghana Web. There is a plot to remove energy minister for not agreeing to shady deals. And this one is coming from a former NPP MP. I'm reading this from Ghana Web. I read, Edward Enin, a former member of parliament for Obuasi East, has lauded the energy minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, for his stance in preventing shady dealings within the energy ministry. Edward Enin revealed that there is an internal push to have the energy minister removed from his position due to his unwillingness to endorse dubious transactions. My newsgh.com report said. While he clarified that he may not have a personal friendship with the current energy minister, he expressed his appreciation for the reports he's heard regarding the minister's refusal to engage in questionable agreements. I'm not friends with the current energy minister, but this time around, I like what I am hearing. I am told he's not agreeing to some shady deals, and because of that, they want to take him from the position. And he also raised concerns about the current state of the Tema oil refinery, Tor, and the ongoing expenditure on its board members and staff. He emphasized that a mere $5 million American dollars is all that is required to revamp and operate Tor. But certain individuals' self-interest has impeded the refinery from functioning all these years. Well, I'll leave it here. Well, it's very simple. The energy minister, everybody knows, Martin Opoku. That's his name. Matthew Opoku is his name, a.k.a. Napo. I am not a fan of Napo because he carelessly speaks, and sometimes when he speaks, he has no regard for heritage and posterity. So I am not a fan of this guy. My brother, my sister, for me, I will go out there and clap that he's removed from there because he's a hypocrite. Yes, one of the biggest hypocrites that we have in this government is this guy here that you see. Whoever is crying for him, my brother, my sister, is unto him. But when we go deeper into the fiber of the story, I am tempted not to go out and play to the gallery. I am tempted to get deeper into the content of the story. Now, and I'm going to just tell you a few things why I see Matthew Opoku as a hypocrite and a loose cannon. This was the same guy, my brother, my sister, who, as the Minister of Education of this nation, told us that Nana Akufo-Addo had done far better than Kwame Nkrumah in terms of education in Ghana. Such a dirty hypocrite. My God have mercy. This is a blasphemy, my brother, my sister. Sometimes when people blaspheme, you give it to them in equal measure. How on earth could you have said this and this guy never ever apologized for that? The Nana Akufo-Addo that you were praising, that he had done better than Kwame Nkrumah when it comes to education in Ghana. It's the same Nana Akufo-Addo who's looking for a head now to chop it off like a bad habit and feed you to the vultures of the air. Today you are crying. My brother, my sister, it's one of the things Matthew Opoku said that made me totally distance myself from this guy. My brother, my sister, now a simple Google search of Dr. Matthew Opoku, aka Napo, would show you a lot of nauseating things that he said. And these were nothing but poor, cheap propaganda, communist tactics of the most inferior order. My brother, my sister, Matthew Owusu, I beg your pardon, Matthew Opoku, aka Napo, my brother, my sister, said that Nana Akufo-Addo has done better than Kwame Nkrumah when it comes to education. And we sought to remind him that Nkrumah pulled out money from his own pocket and built a whole secondary school in the Cape Coast area. I'll keep all the details to my chest. When students were rusticated by the colonial government, Kwame Nkrumah pulled out money from his own pocket. In 1948, my brother, my sister, going into 1949, after he arrived in the country in 1947 to deal with issues concerning the UGCC, he built a whole school, rusticated students who had been involved in a certain riot, aka the Accra riots, were rusticated, my brother, my sister, and Nkrumah put them in the schools. We all know how Nkrumah worked so hard to put our education on the highest point of the mountain. In fact, Nkrumah spent money educating nationals of this nation who all remained true to this country. After they finished their courses abroad, they all returned into the country to help the country develop. Today, we are inundated with schools and the streets. Cheap education, aka free SHS, which is nothing but equivalent to a toilet paper in wet. You compare this dirty achievement, if you can call it achievement at all, to what Kwame Nkrumah did. That was a yeoman's performance. From when Napo said this, I expected that some wise man would speak to him and tell him, please do not be involved in these inferior tactics. But his effrontery increased when he said, children who came from all over Ghana and were asked to assemble at the Liberation Square in the hot tropical sun with nothing to nourish their tastes and started collapsing. My brother, my sister, all in the name of school placements, still as an education minister. Listen to what the comedian of a minister said. The joker of an ostrich minister. You know what he said? He said the opposition NDC burst, in other words, put these little children in a bus and brought them to the Liberation Square so that they would pretend to be collapsing just to score cheap political points. You see, when an ostrich is running away from his responsibilities, these are some of the cheap communist tactics, inferior communist tactics that they use. How could people's children, famished and unnourished, collapse under the hot African sun that you did not plan properly, my brother, my sister, to accommodate? And then you would say that they intentionally were collapsing. He never apologized for this. From that point, I said, this guy is not worth my attention. Anyway, this is just by way of building a dossier for you. I could have continued to say more and more things that this hypocrite said. But today we are not looking at that. We are looking at the fact that he is refusing to sign some dangerous deals, putting Ghana on the edge, according to this former Obuasi East MP, who is seeking to remove him. Earlier in the week, we had read somewhere that they were plotting to remove Napo. Again, left to me alone, who cares? Napo can rest in the hottest part of hell. It is not my business. Because these are the people who have no respect for our heritage, no respect for our ancestors, who broke their back to be able to put this nation on a solid standing. So when these people are in trouble, I applaud so that they will learn from their troubles. But this is a different issue again. So Nana Akufo-Addo is plotting to remove this man. Are they plotting to remove him? All fingers will point at Gabi Asari Ochredakun. Do we all remember Dr. Ejakun, who said as the energy minister, when he was seeking to put this nation on a better standing in terms of our power issues, he was ordered about by Gabi Asari Ochredakun, the former, or better still, the nation's pseudo prime minister, a cousin of the president. He was told that he should stay away whilst he negotiated the deal himself. Even the energy minister did not have the right to negotiate any deals concerning his own ministry. A man who officially does not hold any position in Ghana. He is a British man, my brother, my sister, by line lineage, and so on and so forth. He was the one who decided for Ghana what kind of deal we should have with Ameri and whatever. And the Jaku spilled the beans. Is it still Gabi Asari Ochredakun who is hounding Napo? Are they pushing him to sign the same deals that Ajaku refused to sign? Is that why they want to remove him the same way that they removed Ajaku? I'm just asking questions. My brother, the country is for sale. Dirty people in power, my brother, my sister, are doing all they can to make sure that the next generation inherits nothing but the hottest part of hell. The next generation, I sympathize with you. We might not be here at the time that you take over, but we would have bequeathed to you nothing but Nana Addo's favorite hell. My brother, my sister, these are all sickly, dirty people in power who can die any moment and nobody will say, oh, what a shock, because they've lived long enough. I cry for you. If Nana Addo dies today, his obituary will not read, oh, what a shock. But when you die today at the age of 16, 15, 14, 13, my brother, my sister, it shall read in red and high captioned, oh, what a shock. Oh, gone too soon. That is why we must all stand up. When we are fighting for the nation, it's not because we just love to fight. It's not because we are stupid. It's not because we don't need our lives. It's not because we couldn't have gone to live elsewhere. I have more than 600 visas in my passport. All that new, my brother, my sister. I could decide to live in any part of the world, naturalize and become any citizen that I want to be, including Chinese. But it is a curse unto my lineage and a curse unto my heritage, a curse unto my DNA to ever think about that. My master Nkrumah never did that. My master Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, never did that. Why should I do that? We are fighting for you. But we live in a continent where those you are fighting for and keeping the thieves away from are fighting you back so they can bring the thieves back into power and become friends with the thieves that you are protecting them from. Hallelujah. To Napo, I will say that next time, put Ghana first and stop the dirty politics. At a point, I wondered where he got his PhD from. Because a man who's truly gone through a PhD will not come out with such inferior tactics. My God. Okay. Well, I'm told that he doesn't have a PhD. And that is a dentist. My God. This is a dentist? Well, a dentist. A dentist is in the ministry of what? Energy. To God be the glory. All dentists have run out of this country. We have only 2 dentists left in Ghana. The rest of them are in politics. The others are outside the shores of this nation. Jesus is Lord. I leave it here. Yes, I leave it here.
Mia waleta matam sanga. Yabo.
Another